Let's see how visible these sliding things are. Oh, they look really good on stream. Sweet. I'm happy.
Oh, those look amazing.
Oh, that's amazing.
They'll cycle through. Yeah. I was worried that they weren't legible. So, welcome to Veryne. The crumbling capital remains of the Valyrian Empire. A small yet prosperous empire on the eastern continent of Lyrithil. After 150 years of steady rule by House Ludramon, an unfortunate cosmic accident brought about the city's immediate destruction. On this fateful night, 5 years ago, enormous fragments of a fallen star rained down upon Veryne, devastating the city and contaminating its residents, causing them to mutate in gruesome eldritch ways. Now, multiple factions gather outside this fallen capital, holding expeditions into the hostile ruins in search of knowledge, wealth, and answers. Since this cosmic event, called Sinfall by the Valyrian people, the Empire has descended into political and financial ruin. The last monarch of Veryne, Erenel Ludramon IV, and his family are all presumed dead, lost under the city's rubble, or worse. The king's brother, Adavast, escaped the horrors of Veryne, but was assassinated shortly thereafter by an unknown assailant as he sought answers. With none remaining to carry the Ludramon bloodline, and with no clear successor, the Valyrian Empire lies divided into very small city-states. The current year is 630, Era of the Inner Flame. For their own reasons, each Sinfall player here is making their way to Haven, a small encampment a day's journey south of the Veryne ruins. Before this capital fell, Haven was nothing more than farmland, but has now grown into a premier rest stop for all the adventurers and like-minded individuals as they enter the ruins of Veryne. All 5 of you have been hired by Mark Lucroy, a plump and chatty Valyrian human in his mid-40s, who is traveling to Haven to meet his brother Sven, who was already there setting up shop at the encampment. Mark has promised each of you 25 gold for your trip, paid upon arrival as you reach Haven, which is an almost 18-day journey as you depart from Caspria, a small city-state on the southern border of the Valyrian Empire. And with that, a little music change. So the 5 of you are all in the cart with little Fievel on the end because he's the smallest. Mark Lucroy is the NPC that hired you, the merchant who's going to meet his brother. I'll pop up of what he looks like. He's promised each of you 25 gold on arrival. At the start of this adventure, it has been 2 weeks traveling now on the road, as you all sit on the back of Mark's wagon, pulled by his beloved horse, Bells. While the journey seems long, you're now starting to see the effects of Sinfall, as the countryside around you is turning dreary and desaturated. You pass many small homesteads, crumbling with empty fields. You see forests filled with dead trees. Thorny brambles and harsh scrub grass grow all along the mud-slick road here. But aside from the creaking wagon wheels and Bells' hooves, you hear nothing but the cawing of crows. So you guys know you're about another couple days from Haven. But as all of you sit on the back of this wagon cart, I'm going to ask each of you to give me a quick description of your character. And I'm going to go in alphabetical order to see kind of describe what your character looks like as you're sitting Skyrim style, kind of looking at each other. We'll kick it off with Cast Iron.
I think that's fitting because I think the person who first talks to you in Skyrim is sitting in Cast Iron's seat. Yeah, Cast Iron is an exile made of iron and bronze. He is about 7 feet tall and weighs just under 300 pounds. He's pretty darn heavy. They've got 4 glowing eyes of a bright turquoise, and their robes are made of reds and blues. A shield is attached to their left forearm, and a scourge made of interlocking spiked iron chains rests along their belts. They have these 2 large cylindrical devices that poke out slightly out of their abdomen and navel. And then there should be one right in the center of the ribs, but that one is missing.
The smallest member of the group, we got Fivel.
Hi everyone. So Fivel is unlike his cast iron, very small and squishy, standing at a mere 2'3", weighing far less at a mere 60 pounds. Fivel is dressed very, very commonly, even though there is a little bit of embroiderment on his robe. Everything is grays or blues that can be commonly found. And as you can probably see by the art, Fivel is a soft paw. His family and him alike are small gray mice. His tail is almost as long as he is. And if you look at his face and his ears, there's the light pink that shines through on his nose and his ears.
Nice. Little Fivel. Next up, we have Click Click.
Yeah, Click is a 6'2", 6'2" beetleish looking Galganthy with a dark skin and some dark chitness armor. Has a shield on his back, 2 yellowish eyes, and wears a dark cloak. And underneath there, he has an extra two arms that kind of just fidget with some small mechanical stuff. And that's Click Click.
All right. Next up, we got Sukumakar.
So Sukumo is a 7'2" tall Trollkin, about 215 pounds. He's got dark teal skin, long, thin blue hair. He's got a couple of small tusks that don't show when his mouth is shut. On his face, he's got several scars and a bunch of tattoos. Half of his face is tattooed red, with a lot of other darker red tattoos painted around his face like a constellation. He's got some rocky patches on his skin on the shoulders and knees with some leaves, vegetation growing out of it. And he's wearing some tattered common clothes with a hood with leather armor over the top of it. He's got a satchel with a very messy looking book inside of it, and just has all manner of pouches strapped on his belt, with mostly filled with various forms of vegetation, leaves, twigs, pollen, all sorts of stuff like that.
Nice.
That's it.
Last but not least, we have the tanky man, Unak.
Yeah, Unok is a 6'7" orc, green skin, obviously, because he's an orc. Got red eyes. He wears full chainmail currently, with a shield and a battle axe. On his face, he has like these little like platelets along his like cheek, and other people would notice that underneath his left eye, there's a little bit of like this purplish veins that he has on his face.
Awesome. As the 5 of you are sitting on the cart, slowly going down this mud-filled road, Mark LaCroix leans back a bit. He seems a little at ease knowing that he has 5 bodyguards behind him who watched on these roads. And he says, you couldn't pay me any amount of money to go into Veryne, but there are people willing to risk it. There's people got to eat. There's honest folk like myself. We can make a good profit feeding them. Still, there's many a bastard who want to take it, but I feel pretty comfortable knowing I got you 5 here with me. I gotta ask, why in the hell would any of you want to go toward these godforsaken ruins?
Well, like you said, there are people there that need food, protection, and with some of the things that I've heard that's coming out of here, we definitely I myself, I can't speak for the rest of the people here, but I myself are looking to help these people out in any way that I can.
Mark, he gives a
Well
nod.
said.
As he nods, all of you get inspiration gifted by Ghost. Everyone has advantage right now. Shout out to Ghost.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Ghost.
Thanks, Ghost.
You're amazing, Ghost.
Love you. Bible will continue. For me, I'm actually just looking for my parents and my siblings. It's been 5 years since I've been here, since the fall of the stars themselves. And Cast Iron here, my old college friend, invited me, so I had no reason not to come. Hopefully I'll find everyone still.
I'm in a similar boat, looking for my parents. It's my duty to find them after being away for so many years.
Oh gosh, I don't know if I can get
Let's
this.
wish both of us the best of luck.
All right, let me give this clicking a shot. Oh,
It's not going through the mic.
hold up. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
How you say, looking for stuff for Hive. I feel pull to place. It's as you say, destiny?
That is quite a curious thought there, my friend. We should talk more about your destiny, but for myself, I would like to point out that I'm not that old, as Fievel might have said. I've been in Veryne for about 1/10 of my life, which is not that long. But I'm here to study the stars, find out where these things came from. Mark, what are you doing here? I know you have a caravan, but if it's such a dangerous place, why do you risk yourself?
Well, there's a good amount of coin to be made. And my brother's Finn had the bright idea to make our way up here to Haven and set up our merchant shop. See, most farms here within 100 miles of Veryne are abandoned. Crops are hard to come by without magical aid. Folks can't afford the cost of it. Haven relies entirely on the outside supplies. And I'm bringing in supplies. Staying for a few weeks. Heading back to Caspria, picking up more supplies. I've just seen how much money we can make before it gets a little too dangerous. You know,
You make it sound like it's almost unlivable. How dangerous does it get recently?
so you'll be one of many mercenaries and fortune seekers, or even freedom fighters, depending on which class you fall into, making your way to Haven. But don't pay no mind, Haven is a lawless town. The Order of the Fallen Sky do their best to keep the peace, but there are many factions, many guilds, all vying for the riches inside. And just as quick as you find something worth it, someone will stick their knife in your back to take it from you. You're on your own out there. It says,
Quite a lot has changed since you've been here last, Fievel. I'm not saying it lightly.
Doesn't seem like it's changed for the better at all. Might be up to us to make that change.
The last time I was here, it was pretty bad, so I can only imagine it got worse.
that's only Haven. Once you step into Veryne's ruins, if you get caught in the blister, the contamination that floats like fog, It'll change you quick. It'll make you grow tentacles. It'll make you rot out your tongue. The eldritch beings will force their way into your mind. And you'll lose yourself. I call them star-fed.
Star-fed.
If you see a thick fog of purples and greens floating towards you, you turn the other way and you run and you get away from it.
Or appreciate the warning.
Have any been exposed to fog and lived?
There's I guess a few ways that you can reduce your contamination level. It all costs a bit of coin. But I do know that the Illuminated Church has a few lantern priests that might be able to help you out.
Where might we be able to find these lantern priests? Are they in Haven?
The last I spoke to Finn, he talked about the lantern priests have a chapel now set up in Haven for worship.
There are other less orthodox options as well. I know many who have resorted to mutilation to remove the mutation before it spreads. I hope for our sake, Fievel, that doesn't happen to you, but if you ask of it, I suppose we could go that far.
Preparing for the worst.
That's an interesting thought. Do you think each of you could cut off a limb to save yourself from contamination? If need be?
I have many limbs that could be cut off. Which do you speak?
In time, it could be all of them. I imagine the smaller ones of yours would be the first to go.
It's also not really fair. Everyone else's limbs are like 12 times larger than mine. I'd probably be gone in an instant.
You probably would be. Sorry to say.
Well, for both our sanities, let's hope, Fievel, that doesn't happen. You've only just gotten here and I don't want to lose you.
That comforts me much. I hope it doesn't happen either.
Besides, I know a friend or two that work with metal. We might be able to replace anything with more metallic parts, and I'll like just play and show off my forearm if it comes to that. But you seem to be a lucky one from what I know.
Thank you. Well, it might be better for us to talk about more lighthearted topics.
Where we're going, I don't think that exists. But we can try.
As you guys are going to try to change the subject to something lighthearted, jumping out from the sides of the road, a bench up in front of you.
Wow. What impeccable timing, these bandits.
You see 4 bandits all dressed in black tattered rags and clothes over their cloaks over their head. The bandits hold scimitars and have light crossbows. There's an obvious ringleader in the center with a heavy crossbow, leather armor, and a long sword. And as you guys are just chatting, they jump in front of the road and they stop Bells the horse. Oi! Oh, now just a minute there, friends. You traveling on holy roads, eh? These be troubled times, and it falls to loyal servants like myself to keep these roadways free as scoundrels. You wouldn't happen to be scoundrels now, would you?
No, just merely passing through.
What is a scoundrel?
I'm a scoundrel. Shut up. I'm afraid If you're just passerbyers, we need to be collecting a fee to ensure your safe passage to Haven now. Say 20 gold coins each of you. And all the booze in your wagon there. That'll make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of 20. 100 gold for the lot of you.
Not the booze.
Perhaps instead of a deal like that, we could help each other out and escort each other to Haven. Seems like you're without a ride.
Ogden the Gruff strokes his chin for a second. As he does, one of the bandits turns to him. Oh, boss, I don't be thinking the Queen of Sparrows be liking that much, calling you a coward. Need help from others. And you see Ogden the Gruff just turn. He just backhands the bandit away from him. Shut up, I'm thinking. Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm no good at that.
Oh. Whoops.
18? Oh.
So with a 9, Ogden thinks for a bit, and then he pulls out his crossbow and he holds it pointed at Mark LaCroix. And now Mark is terrified. He puts his hands up.
Can I use my advantage to make it a 17?
Do you want to?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
First roll, use advantage. Thank you, Ghost.
Oh boy.
If I can do this. I try to set up quick things on my... Yay, sweet. I can do a quick advantage on my stream deck. It worked. We don't be needing to go to Haven. I don't know if there's any room for us all on that cart, though. Are you all saying you're going to scoot over so we can climb aboard?
I think if I was to walk, there'd be room for at least 2 of you. I don't get tired very quickly.
I do not bite. I am friendly. All are friends.
Could I cast message into his ear?
Yeah, whose ear do you want to cast it to?
Into, I'm assuming Bogdan?
Sure, yeah. If you ever want to read the names of tokens, if you highlight any NPCs, it should bring their name up. Like if you just mouse over them.
Yeah. I'm gonna... Using literally everyone else's giant bodies as cover, I'm gonna point towards Bogdan and whisper, trying to imitate his voice as best as I can. You know, it would be nice to not have to walk back to town after we walked all the way out here.
Make a performance check. Yeah, while you emulate his voice.
I neglected this. Okay.
Approximately only the heads will fit in the cart. So Bogdan doesn't have the highest of intelligence. With a 15, he's not sure if it's his voice, like if it's his inner monologue, or if something's whispering to him. So he stops and he looks around. He turns around behind himself. Get this thing out of here. I can't delete it. Stop it. But he turns around. He like looks over and looks up like he hears something behind him, but he can't figure out what it is. Whoa. Who did that?
Did what?
What you speak of?
Which one of you said something to me?
Pretty sure none of us said anything.
I was merely suggesting that you can have my seat if you want it, if that's what you're talking about. The offer still stands.
I merely said I do not bite and wish to share space with friends.
Well, you there, the one controlling the horse, I'll sit by you. The rest of you climb in the back. Make some space. We're going to Haven. Mark looks back at all of you. Are you sure about this? He slowly scoots over.
Yeah, Cast Iron's just gonna shrug.
Click Clack's
make
mainly
some
just gonna look at him and just rub his mandibles and smile.
Could I sit on Bell?
Yeah.
Okay. Make a little bit more room.
Come on, squeeze in.
Is the cart moving fast enough that I could like keep up with a walk?
You have a 30 feet? Yeah. You might have to do like a little bit of a jog, but you could probably keep up next to it.
Yeah, I'll politely I'll hop off and give them some room.
Ah, yes, jogging.
They start to cram inside.
What is jogging?
Well, ain't this cozy? All the bandits are just sitting around you, cramped up. Their shoulders are pushed up to each other as they're all stuck inside, and they're all just mean mugging everyone in the cart.
It's only another 18 days. We'll be there in no time.
I extend my my third and fourth arms pretty much from underneath my cloak and hold them out for like a handshake, and I say, "Hi, my name is Click Clack."
He's a starfed. He's got tentacles. Kill him, boys! And they all start to pull out their scimitars, and they hold him up to click, click.
Can I say no? I'm friendly. Can I try to persuade them that I'm friendly?
Make a persuasion with advantage.
Oh gosh.
He's contaminated. He's got to die.
He just looks like that.
Ruff looks back. Oh, he's just one of those bug people. He's fine. With an 11.
What the heck?
Wait.
Man, I was gonna say.
All I want
Sorry,
is a
what?
handshake.
Checking for tentacles, though. We want to make sure there's no tentacles. In fact, I think all of you should get pat down for tentacles just to make sure no one's contaminated.
Would you mind if we did the same to you?
Of course, not a problem. You never know too much these days.
I still have my hands out for a handshake. Does anyone shake my hand?
So the bandit next to you, to your right, shakes your hand, but at the same time he kind of lifts your hand up a bit so you can like look under your cloak. He's looking for any sort of eldritch growth.
Ah. I see.
He's
Let
clean
me not-
balls.
I think a mutual pat down is a good choice. We might find something you might not even have known was on yourself. And I'll just immediately Cast Iron's gonna just start patting down the bandit while he's walking with the cart.
The ones I could reach, I'm gonna be like a ferret and like run over their bodies, like see if there's anything odd.
Unock is not gonna let anybody touch him. He's just, if somebody tries to reach at them, he's just gonna like look at them menacingly and like growl.
Make an
Oh
intimidation.
boy.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
So the bandit close to you tries to reach out and touch you, Enoch, and check for eldritch growth, but as he does, you growl at him and he puts his hands back. No, didn't mean no harm. Want to make sure all of our traveling companions are safe.
That's fair. But you can look with your eyes, not with your hands.
Man. Oh, wait. I have more intelligence to that. Let me not do that then.
Looking odd. Running.
So as you guys all check each other out, everyone here seems okay. No one seems contaminated. And then a couple minutes pass. Mark LaCroix looks around kind of sheepishly, but then he kicks bells into gear and the horse slowly starts to trot down the road. The holy road, he called it. Continuing towards Haven. So now you guys, as you guys are traveling, there's just a bunch of bandits sitting around you. And Cast Iron's doing a light jog to keep up with the cart.
So Bogdan, there was someone that you didn't want to be known as a coward to. Who was that?
Oh, you've never heard of the Sparrows?
The Sparrows, no. I've heard of some other ones, but not those ones. As I'm trying to keep up, you can hear him starting to get a little tense in his voice.
Let's just say the Sparrows are a loose affiliation of survivors who all swear fealty to the Queen of Sparrows.
Can I do a history check on the Queen of Sparrows?
Sure.
Let's see if I know anything about them.
While he's rolling that, Unok could also kind of ask if she's similar to the Matron of Ravens.
Okay. So as you ask that, and Cast Iron, I'll give you advantage because you've been to Veryne or from Haven before. So as you ask that, Unok, Bogdan says, "No, she's not a religious type. She's flesh and blood. She's gorgeous." And Cast Iron, you remember her? She's kind of like the Queen of the Thieves Guild for Haven.
Bible is gonna speak in Thieves' on the surface, he's gonna say, sparrows have actually been something like that, and I'm gonna try to say, so if one was interested in the Thieves Guild, what would I have to do?
He's going to respond to you in Thieves Guild, or in Thieves Camp. And through the Thieves Camp, what he says back to you, if no one else has Thieves Camp, you wouldn't pick this up, but he says to speak to Ace in the Ye Old Hickory Hearth.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm quite partial.
Your fingers cannot be too sticky in Haven.
We have to be careful.
This goes on. The cart ride continues until dust starts to slowly hit. And as Mark Lucor starts to slow down and look for a place to camp, Bogdan and the bandits, they don't leave right away, but they start to get a little antsy. And then they start to excuse themselves. Well, we appreciate the ride here, but we gotta be getting off and leaving you to it. You helped us get some time, though.
Well, I wish you all the best.
Nice.
Safe journeys.
Tell your queen we say
Okay.
hello.
If you're heading to Haven, I'm sure you'll be hearing from her soon enough.
All good things, I hope.
Quick Clack merely extends all four hands in looking for a handshake from all of them.
All four shake your hands at once.
And he merely smiles and says, "Friends."
They still look a little concerned with you, but they smile back, give you one of those devilish grins, and then they all depart from the wagon and head off, going north, the same direction you're going, but they cut into the woods away from the road.
Well, they seemed like quite the nice band of fellows. I'm glad we got to run into them.
I would
Yes.
keep a close watch while we're camping out tonight.
Would you guys mind helping me take down a group of bandits when we get to town eventually?
Taking them.
And
Which
Apparently
bandits?
all of them. Apparently they've taken my family's old inn and turned it to a den of thieves.
Oh, I did not know that the old rickety hearth was your family's. I've been there once before, but I haven't seen any soft cloths.
Oh, family got lost during the mass exodus from Veryne. We've been trying to survive ever since. Haven't seen them since.
Well, at the very least, you'll have my hands in your help there. We'll find your family and we'll get back, what's worse.
Thank you.
Actually, it was quite rude of me. We got disrupted earlier than I thought we would have. I didn't properly introduce myself. I'm Cast Iron of House Tritonus. You might not have heard of us. We're from the Royal College on the other continent. Greetings, and I'll extend my hand towards Click-Clack, who I know likes handshakes.
I am Click-Clack, and he merely shakes your hand with all four of his hands.
An amazing name. Where do you hail from, my friend?
I hail from my hive, where there be trees. I do not know direction, as I've been traveling for years.
Bruce, does he look like an Illumian forest bug boy? Because I know that there's a tribe of there's a hive in that forest.
He's a little more slender.
Okay. Well, perhaps once these fallen stars have made their origins known to me, I would love to see your home.
Must ask Queen first. But I'm sure another grubbling is welcome.
I went from knowing 0 queens to 2 in a matter of moments.
Cast Iron, is it?
It is, yes.
You said you were here to investigate the fallen star. Why is that, if you don't mind me asking?
My magic doesn't seem to be quite right, or at least I... Do you know much about the exiles, my people?
Unfortunately, I do not.
Well, to put it plainly, I'm not from Erenel, I think. Not a lot of information's known, but from my studies, I believe that the fallen star might have some connection to our origin.
Interesting. We might be here for similar reasons, then. I don't know if you know much about orcs, but orcs are not originally from Erenel either.
I did not know that. I'm surprised I don't know that. You know, you'll see him pull out a note and just kind of like scribble while he's talking to you. Is that new knowledge? It's new to me.
I guess maybe new knowledge to you, but it hasn't been new knowledge to my people for as long as I'm aware of, anyways.
Quite interesting that there's 3 different species that are not from Erenel that are now residing. Did you know of the Kavuli? If I'm pronouncing that right.
Yep.
I did not know about them, actually.
You'll know them when you see them. They'll have another eye right here in the center of their forehead. Might look like a gem, though, depending on their mood.
Fair enough. I think that we should stay close together. I would like to investigate this place with you.
Any number of hands will be helpful. I've learned that Veryne is quite dangerous.
Sounds like we're not going to get a lot of help. If everybody's afraid to hail there.
There are friends in many places that There are friends in many places that many do not look, as I have learned.
While you guys have been talking, you've slowly been setting up your camp for the night. I'm going to transition to the camp. If you have dark vision, you'll see gray on the outskirts of the light. If you don't have dark vision, you'll just see the light.
Man.
Foundry V10.
Updates, yo.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I need to update mine for that.
Oh, nice.
But you went off the road here into some of the dead wood with the thick, briny brambles, where you felt pretty safe from any onlookers, and Build a nice campfire, a little tarp overhead, keep out some of the rain, even though it is a clear sky tonight. You guys all have sleeping bags, or however you guys choose to sleep on the outside, and they're now sitting around the fire. We're in dangerous territory, so whenever you guys want to take your long rest, you'd want to set up watches. And for 8 hours, I would need 3 watches in total, unless someone that doesn't sleep or only does half sleep wants to do 2.
I don't have the best in my ability of seeing things, but I could totally do 2 watches if someone wants to sleep.
I can take one too.
Unak would offer to do the first one.
I'm not that good, but
I do not have dark vision, so I might not be the best, but I can help keep watch.
Okay. Yeah, Cast Iron will offer taking the middle watch and also joining Unak in the first one.
5 will help with the last one.
Hey Bruce, is this a tree?
Ping for me again. You guys have built your canopy on the fallen tree, yeah? That is a large mushroom.
Oh.
Ooh, okay.
So if I got
okay,
this
so
right,
that's the tree.
Unak's
Gotcha.
got 1 with Cast Iron. Cast Iron has 2. Fivel and Kumo have 3 together. Get that up. You guys don't have to. You guys can keep talking, but whenever you want to start the watches, let me know, and we'll transition into Unak and Cast Iron by themselves.
Well, I was just gonna say the way that Click Clack sleeps is pretty much he goes to a piece of the fallen tree and makes like a little hole near it, and then he just crawls in there and has his face facing out.
Like it's just your face, like the rest of you's like in the hole.
Yep.
That's
Just his,
terrifying.
just his face and his antennas. That's about it.
I love that. Okay.
That's how he sleeps at night.
Good cat.
Tsukumo was it, if I'm pronouncing that right?
That's right.
We know a little bit about you, but I've been quite rude and have been taking over their conversation. I'd love to hear more about you and your people.
Of course, yeah. So, Tsukumo Akar. I'm from down south in the Ruby Thicket. And much like Fivel, years ago, when the incident happened at Veryne, my parents, they went to investigate. They used to be very accomplished adventurers, and they've always been obsessed with cosmos and stars. My father especially, he's had a vision one night, saw it coming ahead of time, so they were already prepared to go when it happened. So they went and investigated, and I haven't seen them since, so between then and now I had a bit of some rough years in there, so had to overcome that before venturing up myself. But I know that I need to go find them. Just that I haven't heard from them, and they both have means of communicating over long distances, so I'm, needless to say, I'm concerned.
Definitely something
You
to
and
be
I-
concerned.
Tsukumo, you and I are quite similar. And if what you say is true, our parents might have met at some point. They
Yeah.
ran it in for the adventurers in the area
Oh, really?
and other
Where's-
scientists and passerbys, yeah.
I've never been in the area myself, so I'm not sure what it's like, but they were just there investigating what had happened. Haven't heard about any of their travels.
Let's hope we both find our own sets of parents.
Absolutely.
Okay. So first watch is Unak and Cast Iron as the rest of you are to lay down, get your sleep in. Cast Iron and Una, give me just perception checks for random come-ins and go-ins.
Yeah. Cast Iron was going to want to spend the first hour of that watch to set up an alarm spell centered on the fire. So I don't know if I still can do a lookout if I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, why on the fire?
Well, just centered on the fire, but it's like 20 feet out.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Huh, I forgot I have that spell.
Sorry, that was supposed to make a template. It didn't. And then perception. Sorry.
Choo-choo.
I love the train.
Guys, click, 5 Kuma and Mark all lay down for sleep. Cast Iron puts alarm over the campsite, centered on the fireplace, and both of you look out into the dark. So this is the first night that you guys have slept in what has been like the discoloration, and you see more of the contamination now. You both are used to it because you've been here before, but it always just feels unsettling the first time you see it. Just how damaged the land is. And as you're both sitting there looking out to your south, Kumo and Kassan, you both hear this. You hear shuffling coming from down here, almost like some people are walking towards you.
People who are taking watches heard it. You?
Yeah, people are taking watches.
Okay.
Should we be alarmed at that?
Probably. Unak will stand up and start to walk towards them.
So as you walk out, none of these people can see your fire, and then Unak, you can see them through your dark vision. One of them looks like a very handsome mid-30s Valorian human. He wears noble's clothes, but the noble's clothes are very ripped and tattered, like he's been through hell. Next to him is a woman with dark red hair, who also has noble's clothing on, but also is ripped and torn. And behind them, they're carrying an older, he looks like a warrior of sorts. He has chainmail. He has a very large cloak over his head, but he's almost being carried by them to this campfire. And as they're walking up, they see you step up. Help! Help, please! Can you help us? Can we warm ourselves by your fire?
Who are you and what kind of help do you need?
We mean you no harm. I am Lord Edmund Bedgar. I can pay you well. We just need to warm ourselves before the sickness kicks in.
Who has the sickness? Your friend there that you're carrying?
Yes, my bodyguard Ludwig. He's been contaminated by the blister.
Which part of his body is contaminated?
They pull him a little forward a little bit to the light. And as they pull him in, you get a good look at Ludwig. Ludwig opens his mouth, and where his tongue should be, it's gone. It's rotted out. And he looks up at you.
If you drop your weapons there, I will allow you to come and warm up.
The cost to get the contamination lowered was just too expensive. But we think if we just get far enough away from Veryne, that it'll slowly wear off. We're just going south. We'll warm ourselves by the fire, and we'll be gone by morning, I swear.
I would like to take Lord Edmund off to the side and talk to him privately.
Okay. As you take him to the side, Cast Iron, are you talking or are you preventing from doing anything?
Looking over the two of them, Cast Iron's gonna extend his two hands. Well, I don't think you're a threat, but if Unak wants your weapons, I'll need to hold on to those. If you wouldn't mind, I'm not much of a medical exile, but I can take a look at your tongue, Ludwig, and see if it's been cut from the contamination.
Ludwig looks up at you. His eyes are hollow, and you can tell he's in a daze. He doesn't really know where he's at. But the woman next to him, who introduced herself as Jansen, that would be lovely. I only have a short sword, and she drops the short sword at Light's edge of the campfire.
Cast Iron will like awkwardly bend over to pick it up because he wanted to hold on to them. Are you all right? You sound tired yourself.
We've been walking for hours. No food, no water. We're trying to get as far away as we can. At the sounds of the conversation too, Click, Fivel, and Kumo, you guys would have all woken up and like looked over and saw Cast Iron and Enoch talking to these new people.
I'll also drop my alarm spell, so it's not going to go off as soon as they walk next to us.
That's the way to wake up.
So, as Click was sleeping, he kind of did like this low buzzing noise, and it got loud before he woke up, and then he looks around and says, it not look like morning. Why have I been awakened?
We have some visitors. They're friendly, no need to be alarmed. I figured some time by the fire will do them good. If they want, I do have some rations to spare.
Jansen's gonna carry Ludwig over by the fire to get him warm. As Jansen carries Ludwig and walks by, you get a better look at Ludwig now in the light, and you can see that not only has his tongue rotted out, but his cloak is being held in a way to conceal his arm, which his left arm is now a complete tentacle under his cloak.
Cast Iron, you've been here a while. Do you know if there's any way to cure this contamination?
D&D for awesome. Thanks for the raid. What's up, guys?
Hey, welcome.
Welcome, everybody.
What's up, Tiny Fat Gory? That's an awesome name.
The only way I could stop something like this is with a blade. Nothing I've been taught can fix this.
Ludwig coughs again. His cough is deep, and it almost sounds almost like chitinous, like something Click would say, almost like bug-like as he coughs. And as he coughs, Enoch, you've taken Lord Edmund to the side here, out of the fire. Those with dark vision can still see you on the light's edge, but what would you like to say to Lord Edmund?
Yeah, I take him to the side and I look at him and I said, hey, your friend is as good as dead. It doesn't matter how far away you get from this city. He is way too far along.
I feared the worst. He's been my protector since I was a boy. I couldn't bear to put him to the blade. Maybe you all could do it in a swift and clean manner.
If that is what you wish, I can definitely provide that for you. But if you keep going with him, he will end up killing both of you.
Could you maybe do it without my wife noticing? She's been through enough torment.
I could definitely try if you can take her away a little bit or distract her.
Could give her maybe a couple more moments by the fire. She might fall asleep pretty quickly now that we found some safety.
Of course. Just kind of give me a nod when you want me to do it.
Lord Edmund's shoulders kind of slunk forward as the realization's kicking into what he has to do, and he nods. Okay. Let's be off to it then.
Enoch would walk back over to the party and kind of sit beside Ludwig. but far enough away that like he's not touching him in any way.
Lord Edmund sits beside his wife, who looks a little. You get sense that Jansen, the wife, kind of has an idea of what might be going on. She's almost choosing not to believe it. As you guys have now kind of crowded around Ludwig, and as you guys are crowded around him, that tentacle left arm is now. It's elongated a bit since he is sat by the fire, almost like the heat has livened him up a little bit. He seems a little bit straighter. His back's a little bit straighter. His sunken eyes are a little more filled with life.
Like human life?
Like he's getting like some vigor. Like he's been so cold, and not that he's about to turn, but like he's just starting to feel a bit better.
Could I don't know if this will work. Can I do like an insight check, see like he has any like indications that he might be a little hostile or curious about us or something like that?
You just want to make insight check, kind of figure his mood, see if he's hostile.
Yeah.
Or not. Yeah. Okay.
All right, insight. Definitely good at this.
19.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem hostile. He seems almost as if he's kind of at peace with finding some warmth. He doesn't seem angry.
Seeing that he seems at peace, that he's found warmth, could I use thaumaturgy to make the fire a little brighter?
Okay.
Thaumaturgy.
Flames bright in front of all of you. Nice and cozy.
Click Clack mainly smiles and says, warmth.
A nice gesture. Lord Edmund, would you mind sharing how this happened?
Before Sinfall crashed into Veryne, my family owned an estate. While we were gone, I was the only one that was able to survive. My family was killed in the wreckage. I hired an adventuring party similar to yourselves. Myself, Ludwig, and my wife all went inside Veryne, trying to make it to our old estate so I could find some lost and important relics. But while we were there, we were attacked by these mutated human creatures with multiple teeth and eyes and tentacles, and some had grown so large. 3 of us were the only ones that got back out across the other side after the attack, and Ludwig here was gravely wounded protecting me. We pleaded for aid with the Illuminated Church, specifically to Theodore Duncan. Sadly, it was not to be. We did not have the coin, as I am a penniless from what I once was. We just started walking south, trying to get to the next civilization to find some help. And he has gotten worse and worse over the past 12 hours. He has rapidly declined. When we were walking, the tongue just fell from his mouth. Here we are.
Did you happen to pick up the tongue?
No, I dare say we ran from it.
An understandable reaction. Do you by chance know how far away it is from us? It could be beneficial to research it.
Maybe a few hours north. It'll be along the road if it's still there, if you're intent on finding it.
Would be
We
an
might come
interesting
across.
find.
Sorry.
It's on me. You're good to go, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say we might find it on our travels tomorrow, on our way there.
Yes, maybe. And as he goes to talk, Ludwig explodes into a horrific starlight and immediately turns into a star-fed abomination.
That's
Which,
nasty.
This is the first Starfed abomination you guys have seen. This is what like the first part of the contamination looks like. His body explodes, multiple mouths and hooves and tentacles all spread in a chaotic fashion across his body as he shrieks in agony, his skin almost peeling off from this form. As he does, Lord Edmund and Jansen shriek. We're going to roll initiative.
What?
That's the first stage? That's messed up.
Oh boy.
Oh, I know what this looks like. Baby little goats.
Wait, y'all are rolling. Did the thing pop up? Oh, I don't have the combat thing open. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. Hey, I rolled high for once. I did a thing. Click clack for the win. Click click.
Oh, this is what it's like to have good dexterity. Oh my goodness.
I only have a +1. What is this dexterity you speak of?
So as the Starfed erupts, Click clicks up first.
Yes. Let's see. What are our options here? We should probably help our friends. So Click is going to extend his hand straight out, and these two mechanical, like, transparent wings appear on his back, as he is going to use his emboldening bond, and he is going to give it to Unak and cast iron. His bond.
I'm gonna give you guys bless because it's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah.
This should automatically roll the d4 when you guys roll, but if it doesn't, let me know. But it should. Put it on there.
Bonus action wise, I don't really got a spell that does anything bonus actiony. So we're going to kind of just. This is weird. Kind of just.
So this is a no grid map, so when you guys move, it's not like it doesn't pull you.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh. We're kind of gonna move over here, and that's gonna be my turn.
I should clarify too that Ludwig had the max contamination, but this is the first stage of transformation. So if he would like live out here longer, he would mutate more and more.
Baby little goats.
Yeah, so like the people that have been mutated for a while are much crazier than this guy.
I see. Okay. I think we should try to kill it, right? I'm gonna use a short bow attack.
7 misses.
You know what?
You got the
I'm
advantage?
gonna use my advantage on this.
Okay.
Oh.
You also get sneak too.
It's my first attack. Yeah, let's do some nice sneak attack.
Sneak, yeah.
Let's go.
12 damage total.
But then let's walk away a little bit. I don't like this thing at all. Okay.
Pink blood.
That's it.
Jansen
it's
screams and rushes away. As she rushes away, the Starfed abomination is gonna bite her.
Ill.
No.
It misses. She runs behind Bells. Cast iron.
Ooh, that pop-up's really cool. Cast Iron's going to move up next to the Starfed Abomination, and is going to use their action to shove the Starfed Abomination into the fire, if that's possible.
Okay, yeah. Let's do it. We got athletics.
Oh god.
Nice. Oh boy.
Oh, and he has a D4 just in case he would have failed.
Yeah, I guess that's very fair.
Okay, so cast iron, you run up, you grab this tentacled writhing abomination, and you throw it into the fire. It tries to plant itself, but it's so lost in its own mind that it doesn't really understand what's going on as you throw it in there. Take roll 1d6 fire damage and see how much you burn it.
Fire.
5 fire damage.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I'll end my turn by getting my my scourge off of my belt and getting ready for combat.
Okay. Start of his turn, roll another d6 as it's in the fire, just roasting.
How does it smell?
It smells awful. It was like burnt, putrid flesh.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh,
It's gonna step out of the fire, going towards Lord Edmund. If you want to make a opportunity attack, you could.
Yeah, why not?
Oh,
boy. Choo choo.
Let's go.
that's damage.
A lot of d4s.
That's damage.
Damn.
And I
All
the
right.
bless you, sweet. So as it jumps off the fire, as it jumps off and starts to lunge toward Lord Edmund, you smack in the back of the withering mass with your flail scourge. Because you hit it that way, it's going to turn around at you and he's going to attack you instead.
Very understandable. He also gets a stack of bleed.
With bile
Blood.
spray.
That-
This is a deck save for Cast Iron, Unok, and well, looks like a bleed. Unok succeeds. Cast Iron with the
I'm on
back-to-back
fire.
crit.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
Wow.
Takuma succeeds.
Whoa.
So you guys take half, so you take 4 acid damage. And you can see there on the bile spray, if you fail by 5 or more, you gain a level of sinful contamination, which you all pass, so you don't get it.
Jeez. I wonder what
Oh.
it feels like.
I don't wonder.
I wonder many things.
Takuma.
All right. I'm gonna back up a bit and pull up my shield and reach into one of my bags and pull out a twig and kind of lunge it at it and cast Chaos Bolt at it and kind of wince in pain as my veins all turn blue. But gonna take a shot at it with a Chaos Bolt.
Okay.
I'll just let that one go, I guess.
Okay, you want to take the 7?
Yeah.
You got it?
Probably no good on the 14 anyway.
Okay.
That's it.
Lord Edmund, who slyly has a rapier on him, is going to try to stab the abomination. But misses. Unok.
Unok is going to move to this side of him and stand beside Edmund. And he is going to smack him with his battle axe. Why didn't that roll? Smack him with a... No? Okay. Oh, there it goes. Didn't roll.
Also, if you want to turn on double rolls, like everyone else has, in 10 it's a little different now. Now you have to turn on yourself. It's under game settings, under configure settings, and then the module is ready, set, roll. You're looking for always roll multiple dice.
Oh, okay. I got it.
The 13 misses.
That's my turn.
The round goes to Click.
Boy. Alright. We got range spells with this character. Yeah. Everyone's looking good. Hold on, pull out the ruler. You're within range. We're gonna try to hit it with this good spell called Firebolt.
Firebolt.
Yeah, let me just... There we go. Target thingy bobber.
Damn.
Jesus.
Best firebolt ever.
So Click with your 17 damage.
Nice.
How would you like to kill the Starfed Abomination?
So I would like to. So I'm assuming that it's constantly like, snarling at people. So through its open mouth, Click's just gonna shoot the firebolt into the mouth, and in Click essentially saying, how does fire taste in that putrid mouth of yours?
The abomination falls to the ground in front of Lord Edmund, who, just for pure sake of it, takes his rapier and drives it into the dead Starfed with a shout. That is combat.
Unak would turn to Edmund and say, sorry, Edmund. I knew he was far along, but I didn't realize he was that far along.
Oh, that is horrifying.
It is a good thing you came to us when you did.
I have nothing to offer, but you have my sincerest thanks for this. Jansen, we need to, that morning, just continue to get away from this place and never come back.
Click goes to Cast Iron and would like to, even though we're close to each other, just point his finger and cast message at him. And pretty much say, should we check them too? Thoroughly?
I think that's up to them, not us. Especially if they're planning to leave. Cast Iron's just like saying that out loud.
Click looks at them and says, you should clean self. Plenty dirt. Get contamination off.
Rubbing dirt on us will cleanse ourselves? Is this true?
Dirt bath. Hive take every day. Grooming each other.
I think that's just his people that do that. I don't think that actually helps.
And he's just gonna demonstrate by taking some dirt, right, off the ground, and he's just gonna start rubbing it on his like face, kind of like as if he's scrubbing himself to like clean himself. Good, clean.
At the very least, you should check yourselves for contamination. I would hate if this was to happen to one of you while we're not there.
I feel fine. Do you feel fine, Jetson? Yes, but could you just check us over quickly? We don't really know what to look for, but I don't feel sick.
I can do a quick one over.
I help.
So as you guys pat down and look over Lord Edmund and Jansen Voss, Lord Edmund has a pretty rusted rapier and a breastplate. You also notice he has no coin on his person. He's definitely a penniless noble, but he appears okay. Nothing comes out at you.
Could I do a medicine check on him?
Jansen Voss also doesn't have anything that will jump out at you as being contaminated. You can make a medicine check if you want to.
Yeah, just on him, just for shits and giggles. I'm very good at medicine.
About the human body, yeah.
I know much.
Click as you're looking over Lord Edmund. He has a strange mole on his back that gives you pause, and you're not sure if it's eldritch or not, but it's just a mole.
He's just gonna look at him and say, you have strange growth. It bad? He's just gonna cock his head, and his other two arms are kind of just gonna, rub against each other, wondering, showing anxious.
From the research I've done on humans, I don't believe that one is of an immediate concern. Click.
Remove?
Not here. We don't have the tools for that.
Math?
I don't think
they need more.
Fix that either.
Okay.
At the very least, I can give this back. And Cast Iron's gonna bend down and he's gonna cut off. I'm assuming that thing blew up and the image had like a tongue that I can like remove. Maybe.
Oh, he's got like a lot of mouths, a lot of tongue growth.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab one of those. Yeah, I'm gonna use the short sword to cut one of the tongues off. Clean the blade and hand it back over to Jansen. You might want this. The sword. I'm keeping the tongue.
Okay.
For clarification. That's in case we find the other tongue. I want to check them out. But
thank you.
Oh, well, since the corpse is there, no, we're gonna leave it alone. But wrong
yeah,
character.
don't eat. You should not eat that.
I'm not gonna try to eat it. I was wondering, do I want a souvenir or not? And I'm like, no, Click Clack doesn't want souvenirs.
Can I poke at the blood? Like, is it contaminating?
As you poke it, it doesn't seem to be.
Okay.
You don't feel any different as you poke it. It's not like very globly or not like Play-Doh or anything like that. It's just normal blood, but there's that strange pinkish hue to it.
You just had a Click Clack moment in my head.
Mark says, maybe we should burn the body?
Burn, yes.
Not gonna get up, is it?
Then bath.
I think it's best to burn it, yeah.
Would
Just in
Unok...
case.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, I was gonna say, would Unok know that if we burn the body, if it would create one of those clouds?
Do you know one of the best ways to deal with them is to burn it? It wouldn't make any blister clouds.
Okay. Unok would agree then to burn the body.
You would also know that unlike, it's not like zombies to where if you get scratched a bit, you get contamination. It's only from the bile in its stomach or for like more advanced stuff.
Okay.
So even if Ludwig himself, while he was contaminated, would have bit someone, he wouldn't have passed any contamination on.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to know. Cast Iron will help Unok move the body onto our fire.
As you put the body of the star-fed Ludwig onto the fire, it's almost like a funeral for Lord Edmund and Jansen as they watch their companion free of his contamination and burned. They have a little bit of teary eye as they watch it, but they stare at it in silence.
Hey, Bruce.
What'd you do?
Can I brighten the flames again?
So as you brighten the flames, Lord Edmund and Jansen both take it as a somber funeral moment, like you're trying to comfort them, and they both feel at peace.
Speed up the burning so they don't have to observe it faster.
Takes about 10 minutes or so, but then the body is turned to ash in the fire.
As it burns, it reminds Click Clack of what they do with the deceased in his hive. They throw them down a corridor that they've dug and keep it moving.
Sweet. So this is a good spot to take a quick break. Halfway through here. And we'll pick up after the break with you guys back on the road, and then Jansen and Lord Edmund having departed and going south. Is there anything else you want to say to the two of them before they go? If not, they're gonna head on out of here.
Cast Iron will apologize for what happened to their friend. I think that's about it.
5 would also get them each. Just to make sure.
Oh, you cut out for me there at the end there. I was giving them.
They're cutting out
sorry.
a bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I'll give them each some rations just so they can make it.
Okay. As you give them rations, they're going to share with you something that they learned while they were behind the walls of Veryne. Like a little rumor for your kindness.
Oh.
It's strange, as we were leaving Veryne, we saw the Illuminated Church has another camp on the opposite side of the city. One away from Haven. It was almost as if they had wanted to be secluded for some reason. That's where we saw them, and that's where they turned us away.
Very odd.
While we were leaving, though, we heard whispers of... They called it a secret weapon, but we didn't catch any glimpses of what it might be. Something to cleanse corruption, no doubt.
Thank you for that information. We might go check it out ourselves.
Click Click goes up to Lord Edmund, and with his two lower arms, he hands him two torches and says, "Make bright, burn bad."
Thank you, friend.
Oh, yeah, slowly getting rid of the inventory.
Just lightening the load.
Slowly but surely. And before he would go back into his hidey hole, he's gonna cast alarm on the fire.
Okay.
That's my trick.
And with that, quick 5-minute break. I'll be right back. So we'll see you in a few minutes, chat. Getting our drinks going, and we'll be back for part 2. Oh, Raz, do it.
What was that?
Someone else said something.
Oh.
I said, like, especially when you use raw sugar, it's really good.
No. I just use straight up maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons of honey in it.
With your tea?
That's good too.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've entered my tea phase of life.
You guys woke, but put your camp out, climb back onto the cart with bells, and are now heading out to Haven. So if you guys want, I give you some more time on the cart if you guys want to talk to each other, like in person-to-person conversation. If not, I could jump you straight to Haven. Whatever you guys are ready to jump to Haven. If there's anything you want to talk about before you get there, now's a good time to do it. Give yourself long rests, and then keep on going.
Just real quick, as I do basically every morning, you guys can see my ritual of immediately after waking up, I'll draw like a little circle in the ground with some chalk and draw some runes on the ground and meditate to myself while muttering for about 10 minutes. And then I'll take some herbs from some of my pouches and my water skin and kind of boil it over the fire, what's left of the fire, for a while to make this very minty herbal mixture, and drink that while I'm memorizing my spells for the day on my horribly disorganized and tattered looking spellbook. I do that pretty much every morning that we're traveling.
You would also see Fivel's. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
You would also see Fivel's morning ritual. Every morning, like without fail, you'll see him pull out a small journal and write every single day's going on as best as he can remember. And also recording whatever dreams he had the last night.
What you write in there, Fivel?
Just a light journal to remember what happened the last night. It's best not to forget anything.
Understandable.
And who knows what could come into handy.
While you guys are on the cart, as you are heading down the road, you see a vulture swoop down and starting to peck at some sort of fleshy bits on the side of the road here.
Using
Oh no, go ahead.
I was about to say, using thaumaturgy, I'm gonna yell at the vulture and say, "Leave!"
It squawks loudly and it flies off, and as it does, it has almost looks like a large slug in its mouth. But your voice causes it to drop whatever it was in its mouth on the road in front of you.
As Cast Iron's memory resparks into what that could possibly be, without talking to Mark, he's going to jump off the wagon and, more enthusiastically than he probably should, jog up to look at what it is.
You pick up a very elongated, hardened tongue.
Nice. Gonna pick that bad boy up.
Nice.
And I'm gonna rejoin the
Tongue collection already.
yeah, I'm gonna rejoin the caravan, the wagon, and I'll spend most of the trip on the way to Haven comparing the two tongues that I now own. I want to know, do the star abominations, the star feds, are like, is the exploded tongue different than the one that I carved? I don't know. This is important stuff.
They look eerily similar. It's not as large as the one that you cut from the fresh starfed, but it definitely has that weird elongated, almost kind of like a snake-like bit to it.
Okay. Do they radiate any magical arcane energies or anything like that?
You know if anything magical?
Okay. Upon feeling no magic, I'll just toss them off the wagon.
You toss it off, and as the wagon is slowly going down the road behind you, you see the vulture swoop back down.
At least it's not going to waste.
Yes, I hope that the bird won't get contaminated. It's quite odd, actually. There's no magic tied to them, so it's not like it's from the bond, which I think that indicates that whatever it is for sure from the cosmos, the astral plane, perhaps.
Affect us sentient being? Do you think if we expose the vultures to the fog, it might do something?
I don't see why it would do nothing to them if other Erenel creations are affected. They're all the same, are they not?
True. Very true. We'll have to test these theories.
I hope we don't have to capture a bird to test it, but we might have to at some point.
So with that, you guys spot Haven. A humble town surrounded by forsaken farmsteads and dark pine forests. Many residences are abandoned or are slowly deteriorating, with their windows and doors nailed shut. However, at the town center is alive with activity. You can hear conversation, laughter, and even music echoes from several taverns along the main road here. Amidst a bustling market square. You might have to reload, because I have it on my observer that's working.
It says I didn't have a token, but I can read that.
Yeah, I think we need ownership of the party token or something.
Oh, okay. Let me try that.
What's a token?
How about now?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It says, for me, I do not own any token vision for this scene. And I just refreshed.
Yeah, same for me right now.
I'm able to see it.
Try another refresh, because I don't have any token vision on this map.
Ah, there we go.
Cool, it's working now.
So amidst a bustling market square, a small crowd of merchants busily traffic weapons and equipment, and even recovered treasures from Veryne. The light of the chapel of the illuminated church still glows as you make your way into the crowds. You can see the church there as you make your way in. The hustle and bustle of the city center is here. You should be able to hover over each thing, and it should tell you the name of stuff. You hover over icons. So as you guys pull in, Mark Lucroy will let you out anywhere you want along this main road, but he's going to be heading to the middle square. He'll pay each of you your 25 gold pieces. So give yourself 25 gold pieces as you've arrived safely at Haven.
Oh yeah, I'm rich.
And as you guys depart the wagon, Mark invites everyone to meet his brother Sven whenever you are all interested in purchasing any adventuring equipment. He also suggests visiting the Drunken Buzzard for a chance to relax and get a good meal in you for the first time in weeks. Drunken Buzzard is the most friendly of taverns here in Haven.
Why are there 3 taverns in this small town?
There's 3 taverns.
I mean, what else you gonna do?
You live here, you need a lot of taverns. Yeah.
So this works a couple ways. Every place with a coin is a place to buy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Some places might have maps, some places might not have maps. The taverns, you can go there for rumors, you can go there to rest, and there's like some small stuff in each tavern. And then the other locations, the farmstead, the watch, the church, the Silver Lion, are all places where the factions gather. A big part of this campaign is the factions will look to hire adventurers for stuff inside the city. Or you can disregard the factions and explore the city once you hear places to go. The only thing is at least for now in the beginning here, because you guys are low level, it's best to stay as a group. So I guess you guys as the party token, and you can't, I want to warn you guys from going off separately in places. So wherever you guys want to go, I would recommend staying together as you traverse Haven.
Before we leave, Mark, could I talk to him
Definitely.
real fast? My dear Mr. LaCroix, Mark, my family used to own an inn here, the Hickory Hearth. Do you know what happened to that?
I don't know anything about anyone that owned it beforehand, but I do know now that it is a place for scoundrels and vagabonds under the pretenses of the Sparrow.
Oh, completely taken over?
Yes, that's why I recommended the Drunken Buzzard. To go to the ye old Hickory Hearth is to walk into a thieves' den itself.
Thank you for the information.
If you go there, just be careful. Keep your head on a swivel. Pickpockets all around
I
you.
will. Understood. Thank you.
I'm not sure if anyone else has anywhere to go, but I would like to head over to the ye old Hickory Hearth myself. I have a contact there. Hopefully.
I would love to see my old home once.
I'd be willing to go there as well, as long as we can get a drink. And at some point, I'd like to go to the Illuminated Chapel.
Well, if we're to get a drink, I would suggest we go somewhere else first.
I want to see all pretty things they have.
If what the rumors are true, it might be best to get a drink after.
It's a very good point.
Also very true.
I don't drink myself, so I didn't even consider that.
Pretty shiny things and church peoples.
This is the old Hickory, if you want to go here.
Yeah, I think this is a good first stop, and then we can go to other places if they want.
I've been paused.
Yeah. So as you guys walk up to this is an inn on the outside, on the outskirts of Haven. As you walk through town and start to make your way here, this is a dingy tavern. Seems to be in disrepair. As you walk up to the front door here, there's a jawless skull impaled on the door with the words, "Under new management, signed the Queen of Sparrows." Inside you can hear laughter and what sounds like a fist fight.
Y'all want to go here?
Maybe they become friends.
Yeah.
They're not all bad. I have a contact I should be meeting here. Member of the Order of the Empty Sky. They're an organization that has made themselves quite known.
I
not
was
just
gonna
gonna-
put like. Go ahead, Enoch.
Oh, I was just gonna open the door, but if you want to do something before I open the door, then go ahead.
Oh yeah. Five was just gonna place a hand on the sign, like, and read it over, like really despondent, and let out a really deep sigh before letting you open the door.
Say I could open the door. Door.
All right, so as you step in, I'm gonna pause it here for a second. As you catch a little bit of the lay of the land here. Inside, this tavern seems more like a hideout and less like a tavern. Behind the bar, over here, you see an orc woman. She looks as if she's seen more battles than served pints in her day. Sitting at various tables are obvious scoundrels and thieves and bandits. Two stick out amongst the rest as all the eyes have stopped and turned to you. Any sort of fist fighting, any sort of drinking and conversation is all stopped, and everyone is now just staring at you. You see a tall, Valyrian human with a neatly trimmed facial hair who wears a black padded jacket. He has an arrogant smirk, and he gives you the impression that he has some sort of authority here. That's Ace. There's a shorter human with long golden hair which sits next to him. As you all step in, he's going to stand and immediately excuse himself to go to the bar and to get away from the conversation. Almost as like he's preparing to get out of the way of some sort of introductions. And as you walk in, everyone around you has ale in front of them, but they all are almost like they're ready for anything that might happen.
What's in here?
Cast Iron is gonna beeline it to the one that he thinks is in charge.
Bibo's gonna follow him.
Hey Bruce, what's in here?
I don't see you pinging.
Oh, why is it not pinging for me anymore?
I think he's meeting over here.
Yeah, why isn't my ping going through?
Oh, okay. That's just like a little small, what used to be a storage area is now just like been ripped apart. Boxes have been smashed.
Interesting.
As you walk in, the scoundrel with his well-trimmed mustache and beard. Welcome. Newcomers looking to make a name for themselves with the sparrows. My name is Ace. And who might you all be?
Good morning, Ace. I am Cast Iron. I'm not looking for the moment to do much with the sparrows, but I was told that a friend of mine would be meeting me here. Do you by chance know Ryrashev?
The name rings a bell, yes. But I haven't seen her in some time now.
How long ago was that?
A few days at least. People come and go rather quickly in Haven, though.
Do you know if she left the town itself or just your establishment?
Let's say I'm a man who knows things. But I'm also a man who likes to have a little bit of weight in his palm, if you catch my meaning. Or such information.
I do. I understand what it's like to have a funnel of funds while researching and learning. I have some gold to share, if that's what you're asking. And I'll take out 5 gold and place it on the table.
Perfect. See, we're all in it for ourselves, but you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. I feel this is the start of a beautiful friendship between us.
I hope that's the case. I don't want to make enemies today. I would rather make friends.
Rumor has it that the Order of the Empty Sky was looking to make a push deep inside Veryne. The problem is they were wanting to make a push towards a place called the Row, which unfortunately for them is Sparrow territory.
Does that mean my friend's in harm?
It's quite the predicament for your friend, because she is an Order of the Empty Sky, but she also, let's say, enjoys the company of sparrows.
Is that your way of saying she's here, but not in this room?
I think she might be looking for a new faction to join before she would do harm to her friends. Luckily, the Queen of Sparrows is very inviting.
Well, that's all well and good. I don't have any strong affiliations with the Order. I merely use them as a contact to learn more about the city. Veryne, specifically.
Because she's your friend, if it has been found out that she has turned her back on the Order of the Sky, or the Sparrows, she could be in for quite the punishment.
She's been through quite a lot. I don't think she deserves that.
Yes, but Cedric LaRue, he is the lead commander of the Order, and he does not take lightly to disloyalty. And by that I mean what he believes is disloyalty. If he believes that she has turned her back on the Order, she might even be imprisoned within the barracks of the Order. Or she might just be with our folk deep in Veryne.
She didn't tell me this. I was promised to meet with her. Out of character, would I know if the Order has any establishment in Haven?
I do. So they are in the Watch, which is a very large barracks, like militia. And you would know that the Order too is also the ones that see themselves as the lawmen of the city, of the town.
Okay. Well, I suppose I'll have to take it up with them. I thank you for your information, and it seems like my friends here would like some of your drinks and things of that ilk. We won't get in your way for long. Thank you. I hope this is a friendship in the making.
Yeah, stick with me. We'll go places. So as
At that.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, sir. No, go ahead.
While Ace and Cast Iron are talking, Five, you're next to Cast Iron. Do you want to say anything to Ace before I jump to the other group?
Yes. And if one would like to stick by your side, how would one go about doing such a thing?
Interested to join in the Sparrows, are you?
We met a dear wagon mate, Bogdan, on the road here, and he did say quite a few wonderful things about your organization.
Well, between you and me, Bogdan is a fool. And I think you
We
will...
had assumed so.
Ah, perfect. So you will vastly... You'll pass by him in no time. But to do so, become one of the Sparrows, we must first see how adept you are. Every newcomer that wishes to join our ranks, we ask for one, let's say, a mission. You must enter Veryne. You must find a shard of the fallen star, no matter what size. Then you must bring it to us. Prove that you can enter the city, collect resources, and return unscathed.
And return, what do the Sparrows offer me?
Admittance into our ranks. With that, you can grow with us. And as you work your way up the ladder of the Sparrows, who knows, maybe you'll even be able to meet the Queen of Sparrows herself. Become one with our secrets. Become one with our coffers. And rely upon our influence if you ever come into doubt with the other factions.
Bible will look at Cassarian since he's here listening to this entire time. And since they've known each other for years, I'm gonna give him a look that says, "Trust me, I know what I'm doing. I know this is kind of sudden, but you gotta believe me."
You have no idea if Cast Iron registers that because he has LEDs for lights and eyes. But he will say, "The fallen star, what do you need that for?" They're quite interesting to me as well.
He feels like he has a bit of a rapport with you now because you've had a good conversation. So he opens up. Yeah, basically. He opens up a little bit more and he says, "Many of the factions here seek to do various things with the pieces of the star that destroyed Veryne. We personally like to collect it to sell and make quite a bit of coin, I might add. If you go to the Illuminated Church, they want to collect it to destroy it immediately so that none can benefit from its profits to be made. If you were to say go to the Royal College, they wish to study it to try to extract whatever magical properties can be found inside of it. And even crazier than all of this is that strange new religion who use it to embed it within themselves because they believe it gives them powers from the above.
You speak of the Absolution?
Yes, that is the one. Strange little religious sect.
Yes, I've heard interesting things of them.
Compared to the rest of them, Prophet seems normal.
Well, the leader of that cult says she saw the star in a vision years before it fell. She claimed, when no one else would, that it was coming, and she tried to warn everyone. And then it came. And because it happened, she's grown quite a following. All fanatics, if you ask me.
I believe that she knew nothing more than just basic divination.
Some sort of madness.
Be careful if you speak to her, though.
No.
She is almost solely responsible for funding much of Haven. She has very deep pockets now. Her name is Charlotte. She is not to be taken lightly.
For your information, Ace, I'll leave 5 more gold on the table, and I'll hop over to be with the rest of the group.
Yeah, I'll join.
Oh, we have deep pockets with this group. These are my new favorite friends. Frida, drinks on the house for all of them. So as they're talking,
Thank you.
Kumo, Unak, and Click, you guys could hear the conversation with Ace, but you've all approached Frida at the bar.
Click is gonna look at Frida and ask her, "Do you have sugar?"
I think we got some sugar somewhere around here. Is that what you want? Sugar water?
Yes, and he's just gonna rub his mandibles together.
It's like some Men in Black stuff going on.
Yeah.
Okay. And she goes into the back really quick. Takes a couple minutes. She comes out with... It's mainly water with just like a couple sprinkles of sugar.
Click is just gonna sip some of it and say, need beer.
Well, beer would usually cost you 2 copper, but because old Ace there said you can drink for free. Ale for everyone, and she's going to grab these very unclean glasses covered in fingerprints and dirt. And she fills it with this very watered ale and puts cups in front of everyone.
Flavor.
Thank you. I didn't expect to see another orc here.
Well, I've been here all my life. Luckily, I wasn't caught in the blast. But nowhere else to go. The sparrows took me in.
Fair enough. Well, I'm glad you're safe.
It was quite a journey. We were escaping, and I was around a couple that looks sort of like him. And she points at Fievel. The Autumn Dews, and they brought me back here after we escaped.
Then jump on the counter. My parents. What do you know about them?
I thought they were probably related to you when you walked in. They look just like you. Speak,
Please. I haven't seen them in years.
Well, once The world seemed to fall in on itself. Very kind. They took refugees here. We helped them. But then over time, as the Order of the Sky and as Octavius Ludramon attempted to breach Veryne to find what happened to the king, his brother, and his family, war basically took hold outside the city walls. More people started to come. Travelers from afar, people interested in what had happened. Some looking for fortune, some looking for information. Your family, though, I dare say, got on the bad side of the Queen of Sparrows. And to pay off whatever harm that was going to become to them, they gave the Queen this tavern and ventured back into Veryne.
Bival's paws are gonna at least shake. He's gonna try to hold himself together. Like, thank you for this information. If there's anything I could ever do to help you, please let me know. And he's gonna go back away.
As you back away, you see Ace just looking at you, smirking. Like he knew, but he chose not to tell you.
I wasn't gonna ignore.
Out of character, since we're starting to talk about like with the factions and stuff like that, are we able to join each join a faction, or do we all have to join the same faction?
So you can each join a faction. Just know that some factions don't like each other. Some factions are hostile. Some factions are like friendly with each other. And the factions might give you guys things that both want the same thing, but you have to like choose which faction to complete it for.
Okay, that makes sense.
Faction of the click, let's go.
Dun, dun, dun. For the most part, though, every faction is not like black and white. They're all mixed. Like there's gray in all of them. Even the crazy Absolution cult has some gray in it. Anything else you guys like to talk about here? Sorry,
Did you guys join the counter? Or the bar?
Cast Iron is sitting at the table behind you guys, just listening in.
Did y'all get what you need, Fivel?
I did.
The thug across from Cast Iron is like staring directly at Cast Iron, unsure what to do now that you've joined his table. And he's just holding his drink in his hand, just staring at you. Not really sure what to make of you.
He'll get to witness as my 4 eyes turn off for about 2 or 3 minutes while I'm like processing what to do next. And he's like, I slump a little bit and then I turn back on like nothing happened.
Ah! It lives again. So weird.
I'm not that weird. I'm just not that fleshy. Name's Cast Iron.
Ah. Cogs and gizmos. He gets up and he walks away. Goes sit somewhere else.
Okay. I don't know how to respond to that. You're just being mean.
Unok would finish the rest of his ale and ask if everybody's ready to go.
Good to go.
Click has a light buzz, and he said, "Ratty."
So
Back out in Haven, you guys would be over here now. Leaving the ye old hickory hearth.
Does anyone wish to go anywhere? Since we seem to have decided to be a group.
See the shinies.
I would like to see the illuminated church and speak with them. If anybody else wants to go.
Sounds like a plan to me. Click. Do you mean you want to go shopping? Are there things you want to buy?
Shinies, yes.
We can hit that up first, I suppose, since it's on the way.
On the way over, yeah.
we might as well.
So in the merchant square, you guys can buy anything that's on the in the player's handbook for a normal price while you're here. There's no map for this. It's just basically you can buy anything you want from this place. And then there's a blacksmith shop, which is Hendrix and Son. Unless you want to talk to Sven.
Ooh.
This is not the Croy place, right? This is something else.
No, this is the blacksmith shop. This is Hendrix and Son. Kind of right above the illuminated chapel.
They're very pricey.
So if you walk up to Hendrix here, you can click on him, and it'll open up his inventory. He sells a bunch of wares. He's a blacksmith, so he has armor, weapons, stuff like whetstones, crossbow bolt cases, some tools.
Ah, yes.
Hendrix,
Things I cannot use.
Hendrix will also take orders if you want to have him like specially make something for you, which is kind of like Erenel equipment, like claymores and stuff. Anything in here you can buy. That is the son of Hendrix and Sons.
Ooh.
That is Sybil.
Okay, they have nothing I need.
Oh, that studded leather actually looks really tempting.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's getting the sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer.
You never know when you need
This is
it.
the best I
Studded leather? I don't think I can use that right
Crowbar.
now.
It's one of the tricks with Hendrix and Sons as you guys are exploring. You'll be able to find magic item recipes, and there'll be like stuff you put together, and then he'll be able to make it for you.
No. My exoskeleton still does better.
But I wasn't planning on buying
we need
anything,
it.
but I bought some stuff, so I'm good to get out before I spend more.
Sadness of having a low strength score.
Anything else you want at Hendrix and Sons?
Oh,
That's it.
You know what? I'm kind of broke right now. We looked at the shinies in the blacksmith's shop. We're good now. We're broke.
You'll have money soon.
I have money. I'm just broke.
That's Hendrix's son here. And as you guys spend time here, and as the game progresses, more places open, more shops will have maps and stuff. You want to go to the church?
Yeah. We're not gonna like to. I don't know, I don't know if anybody else wants.
I'm just about to say that. Let's go to church.
Take me to church.
As all of you head into the church.
See how much those lantern priests charge for their protection.
Oh, you know that they're charging a pretty penny.
Mm-hmm.
So this chapel is not as extravagant or as large as, say, the farmstead or the watch for the order. But as you do walk in, there is a couple lantern priests you see walking around, a couple brothers and sisters of the road. They have lantern belts on their hip, showing them as followers of Rezmir. But one person stands out from the rest, and that is this woman. She's a stout woman in her late 40s. She has black hair that has the occasional white streak through the hair. She wears a flowing yellow and white robe, signifying herself as a priest of the Illuminated Church. She carries a silvered staff at the tip, which is a candelabra, which is the symbol of the church. The candelabra has 3 distinct candles. The Illuminated Church is the biggest church in Erenel. The deities of light, so it's Asana, Rezmir, and Lunawin. And as you walk in, she has a very kind demeanor about her. She walks up to the 5 of you. Definitely paying notice to Unak as she sees the paladin in you. Welcome, travelers. Have you come seeking to pledge yourself to the church? Have you come seeking aid, healing, or do you just need time to reflect?
I do need some time to reflect while we're here, but the main purpose of this is for me and maybe the rest of my party first, for them to know is what is the Illuminated Church doing here to try and help these people?
That is an excellent question. The Haven is a strange town. Some of commoners still live here, but many of the people that are here now are those trying to go about their own means to an end, each with their own goals and desires. We personally look to destroy the fallen star at its source. We're here to destroy whatever evils lurk inside Veryne, so that the capital city can return to what it once was. And being as you are a member of the faith, I dare say you also understand why we are also here to end the heresy of the Absolution.
I do understand, yes. Have any of you been able to find a way to cure what is happening rather than simply just destroy it?
We are able to cure some contamination, although it takes a great deal of strength and a great deal of our own spell casting to do so. Very difficult. And only the highest, greater restoration can be cast to cure it.
Fair enough.
The blister is not of the bond. And as we cure it, it's almost as if the bond fights against whatever it is.
Fair enough. Well, I'm glad you guys are doing good work here. Is there anything you guys are looking for anybody to help out with that maybe me and my party could help with for you or anybody else in town?
We've heard strange rumors, I would say. And this isn't confirmed, but there is a nest inside the walls of Veryne, in one of the old taverns that wasn't destroyed, but a crater has landed close nearby and has contaminated some of the folks that were in the tavern when it fell. However, instead of changing them to be abominations, it has taken their lycanthropy, as they were all were-rats, and has embellished it. And this rat's nest is supposed to be harboring some sort of demon. If we can get more information on what this demon is, or what these amplified lycanthropy are, it might do us a great deal to where we can maybe cleanse the inn, rescue those inside, maybe even use it as a stronghold for the Lantern Priests to get a foothold inside Veryne.
Fair enough. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that we could possibly help them out? Or see what else is going on in town?
I'd never say no to helping. I think that would be good.
Yes.
Seems
Five will message Cast Iron, and as quietly as possible say, should we confront them about the second location of the church?
You can see that Cast Iron moves his head slightly, so he definitely understood what you said. Am I allowed to message back? I actually don't remember if that's a thing I can do with message. Or is that one
I think
way?
so.
Pretty sure you can, yeah.
Yeah,
You can.
Okay.
Can you reply to this
I'll
message?
reply to the message with perhaps not yet.
Mm.
Seems like our party is in.
I have all access to the
I do have one question though. Actually, before I say that, out of character, did Opalina give us her last name?
Yeah, she would give it to you. Opalina Duncan.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. Sorry, I've changed my mind.
Gonna ask her something. Do you know if there's any way to protect us from the blister if we investigate lycanthropy business?
We are still looking for a way to walk through contamination. We are unsure of how to pass by as of yet. But while I have your ears, I have heard followers of the Absolution have gathered at one of our old churches inside the Sinfall. You know, there's basically two zones in Veryne. The Sinfall is like the more contaminated zone, closer to the castle. And then there's the outer wall, which is like the easier zone to travel through. It's so deep within the city. I don't know how the Absolution could have managed to survive there. They must have found a way to pass through the blister. If you could find out how to do so discreetly, the Illuminated Church would be happy to fund anything to get you guys, get your party deeper inside the church or the city. We just ask that this knowledge only comes to us.
Of course, getting a foot inside Veryne would be monumental to everybody, I feel. Both you and us. We might be able to figure something out.
We have odds with the Absolution, to say the least, and they would never share this information with us. So having someone like you to take it would be very beneficial for the light.
All right. Thank you for the info.
Of course.
At that, I don't have any other questions at this time, but if we have any more info, we'll be sure to share it with you, and we'll see what we can do about those were-rats.
You stay safe.
We will try.
You too.
That is Opalina. So each faction has a leader and like a second in command. And you've both met 2 second in command so far.
Did the rest of you happen to notice that...
We visit the Absolution.
We should, yes. But did you happen to notice that
Go ahead.
Opalina had the same last name as that leader that Edmund was talking of? Theodore Duncan was in that other camp.
Yes.
I don't think that is like connected, but I think that's important to know.
The church is quite well knit within itself, though. It could be coincidence, but it could also not be.
Perhaps that means Theodore is the one in charge of it all for the Illuminated Church here.
Most likely. Or there's a third party besides both of them. I doubt that they would have been able to meet whoever's in charge that easily, even if it is Theodore.
That's fair. Unless Lord Edmund was hiding something. But I imagine with us being friends, he wouldn't have done that.
I don't think Lord Edmund would have hid anything. He seemed pretty distraught about everything that's happening.
That's very true.
Like Fable said, should we go check out the Absolution? See what they're about?
Seems like the plan.
Just double
More
check.
information, the better.
Just double check. They're the ones that put the stars in their head, right?
From what Ash said, yes.
So they have the shinies.
Just be careful with them. I've heard more negative than positives with them. They might be a bit extreme.
Shinies.
So as you're walking towards the farm, there's a bridge that leads to this large section of the farm. As you're walking to the bridge, there are these, they almost look like pilgrims. They wear nothing but burlap sacks. They have no equipment of value. You'd almost mistake them as beggars at first, but they stop you at the edge of the bridge. And as they stop you at the edge of the bridge, you can hear there's almost like a sermon going on over your shoulders. And you see this woman. She stands in front of 25 to 30 of these same peasant-looking, homeless-looking acolytes. And as she does, she has these very piercing eyes. She looks to be in about her early 70s, with gray hair spilling over a headband made of leather. She also has simple gray robes, and she clenches a very heavy leather tomb. However, though, as she is talking, her robes are moving, and under her gray robes, you notice that where her heart is a shard of a meteorite which pokes out between her robes and is glowing brightly, similar to like Iron Man, where he has that thing in the middle of his chest. As she does, she's talking very loudly. One day soon, we will near the end of our world and enter an age where great strength is needed. These holiest of stones that fell from the sky were sent here from the above, so we may face the all-consuming void head-on. In our darkest moment, we have been given a great gift. Go, fulfill your pilgrimage. You have my blessing, and I will see you all soon. All the pilgrims start to single file walk towards her. And they grab her hand as they do, and they kiss her hand, and they also touch the meteorite that's poking out of her chest. One by one, they're doing so. And as they're doing so, another person's going to walk up to you at the bridge. This man here. This guy that's approaching you is a very animated Valyrian human in his early 30s. He has short brown hair. He also has a very flushed face, very red. He doesn't wear armor. He has the same pilgrim robes and a roped belt. But under his robes, as he approaches you, you can see there's a light shining where his heart should be. But his is much more concealed than Charlotte's. Welcome, true believers. Have you come to give yourself to the Absolution and help us fight the fight that is coming?
We're definitely here to fight a fight, but we just heard about you guys. We wanted to learn more about you.
We're not here to fight you, if that's confusing.
Oh, yes, sorry.
We're merely
Not to fight
friends.
you.
Oh, it is quite alright. Everything happens as part of the divine plan by the deities of light. And they have brought you before us.
And which deities of light would you be speaking of?
We believe the prophecy foretold by Charlotte of the fallen star is none other than a gift from Lunuin herself to help us fight the void back into the darkness above. She is being dealt with untold violence. She stares at it, but her favor is wavering. So she sent us this gift, so that when the time comes, we can also stare deep into the void and help her fight at her side.
I don't want to question your faith. I'm purely curious. What's the explanation for the mutations then? The tentacles, the growths, the explosions, the horrors with the stars? Do you know anything of that?
Charlotte Beauregard, the way she speaks of it. The light shines the brightest in the darkest of places, and through self-sacrifice, salvation will come. But only those who are fully ready to grasp the powers held within the fallen star can take its might and wield it. Those with sin deep in their hearts who have not repented are not yet ready to claim Lunawin's gift. It is only once you have fully repented for all of your sins that you can accept the pilgrimage that Charlotte has blessed those. And he motions to the people behind him that are still kissing her on the hand. They are all about to begin their pilgrimage, relieve themselves of sin, and join us in the fight. You cannot just merely grab a shard and stick it into your chest. It is a process, foretold only to Charlotte from Lunawin herself, that we must all partake. Or we must all partake in.
Let's say I was to believe in the religion. What would that process be?
She's gonna look. He looks over his shoulder again, and he sees that Charlotte is basically almost finished with all this. I think it would be best if Charlotte would tell you herself, for she is the wise woman with the vision. And through her lips, you will all find your salvation. But please come. And he's going to start to slowly walk you into the church. Being very careful to not let you guys get too far into the farmlands. He's kind of keeping an eye on you, not letting you see everything that's in here, but he's taking you up to Charlotte.
I want to get close to the shiny.
Could I make a perception check and see if there's anything they're trying to hide from us then? If that's the case.
Yeah, make perception. $22. From this vantage point, so there's a couple very large structures in here. From where you're at, you can see there are there's two main buildings that you pass through. There's a very large stable of very well kept war horses. That it's kind of strange to see these war horses. You also notice that out of every place that you've been besides here, all of the farmlands here are ripe with fruit and vegetables growing in the fields, compared to everything else that's been very barren. There's also a very large farmhouse which has a couple well-armed people dressed in the same peasant gowns and that are standing watch in front of it.
Interesting.
As you approach Charlotte, she turns to you and you can see her piercing eyes. You can see she has a very large meteorite that's sticking out of her chest, which glows a bright purple and yellow. She immediately locks eyes with Kumo. I know you.
You must be Charlotte. You know me?
I know you.
How do you know me?
I know your father, the Crimson Cosmos.
Where do you know him from?
Shardlot. Got it? Your father sought me out as we both saw the prophecy before coming fallen star.
When did you see him last?
He accepted our pilgrimage. He was one who would help teach the others as they approached. We spoke of the light, the starlight, and how it would help to shine us through the dark times. After I returned with my pilgrimage, he set out for his own. Sadly, I have not seen him since his pilgrimage.
When was that?
It's been a few months now.
pretty recent. Where was this pilgrimage heading towards Veryne?
Yes, he entered Veryne. He was going towards what we now call the crater, the largest impact spot inside the walls.
Is that in Sinfall?
Yes. He was a powerful spiritual person. He was one of the few that also saw what I saw. We had many conversations about what to do with our knowledge.
Well, that's great to hear. He's likely still alive. Although a few months is a bit long for a pilgrimage. It's not too far out there.
I feel the worst. I have not heard from him or had any visions of him since he's entered the walls. I don't know what happened, but I hope that he has found his truth inside. Have you come to do the same? Are you here to accept the pilgrimage?
Well, I suppose you could call it that, but I'm here to figure out what's going on with Sinfall in general and to figure out why I haven't heard from my parents.
It has brought me great joy to see another of the Crimson Cosmos. You see, when I had my vision, I was dismissed by the Illuminated Church. My voice was suppressed. And your lineage, having seen the same, were able to put weight to my words. And as Sinfall fell and showed that we were correct, it has turned us into almost, one would say, a celebrity. We've been able to use our statuses for good. We've had backings from others from across Erenel, wanting a different religion than the Illuminated Church that also follows the deities of light with a new vision. And with that, we've been able to turn what was just a meager beginning into all you see before you, and a great deal of that has come from your father.
Well, I have several questions. I guess we start with the shard. How did you get that shard in your chest? Were you hit by Sinfall?
During the pilgrimage, as we enter Veryne, we enter after a brief communion with the above. It is almost as if you are pulled to your shard inside Veryne. You enter the walls, you feel the shards calling, and once you are close to it and you find it glows so brightly you can barely look at it. And it lets you pick it up without contamination. It lets you bring it back here to us. And then once the moon is full, with the aid of myself and Fabian Barnes, my apprentice, we can slide it into your heart, which serves as a power source, almost like a beacon to the above. There's no pain. There's no mutations. It's a gift.
Are there certain people that have these shards, or is it just anyone?
So far here in Haven, only a few members of the Absolution have been able to finish the pilgrimage, collect the shard that was meant for them in Veryne, and bring it back here. Others outside of the Absolution have tried in different ways. Some have just taken a shard and jammed it to their foreheads to no avail. The Royal College seeks to sap the energy, divine energy from the shard, which can have dire consequences. but only the Absolution, with the blessing of Lunuin, can insert it into our chest cavities and reap its reward. But with reward comes a great responsibility.
So I'm assuming that's what Vanjil, my father, did on his pilgrimage. He's looking for a shard.
Yes, he was leaving to find his shard. His shard was just, unfortunately, his shard called him to one of the most dangerous places inside Veryne.
And did Anji go with him? My mother? Is she here?
Your mother, sadly, let's say, did not like the direction of the Absolution. She has went her own path, and I do not know where she is now.
Did she leave Haven?
I have not seen her for some time. She left before your father went in on his pilgrimage.
I see. Well, we're considering heading up to Veryne ourselves. How do you even get to Sinfall? How are you people able to get through the blister?
She looks at you for a second there, as if she's trying to look for the right words without revealing some very large truths to you. I don't know if you're fully ready to grasp how we move through the blister. Are you interested in a pilgrimage?
What? I think so. It's hard to say without knowing too much about what's going on there, but it sounds like my family was conflicted on the issue. I guess I'm not sure why Anji didn't like the direction of the Absolution.
Many find our ways to be a little more fanatical than they'd wish to see. Others have seen the fallen star and believe that it may not be a blessing from Lunuin, which is falsely, of course, but they have different ideas. All that we want to do is to transform Veryne into a holy site, so that more people can take the pilgrimage and prepare themselves for the darkness that is coming. We also seek to claim the lost relics of Matthew Ludgerman, one of the first kings of the Valyrian Empire, as we believe this will help us in the fight.
What fight are you talking about?
The Knoll is coming. Avoid swim in the recesses of Erenel. They're finding ways to pierce the veil. And once the stars and the sun and the moon cannot push back the void, we will be left to our own devices. The gods can only prevent this from so long before we must defend ourselves. And I have seen it. The time is coming, and it is coming very soon.
Is there a chance at all that you could share even a semblance of how to get into the city safely? Many of us have friends or acquaintances or family in there, and you could share even just a little bit. We could go in there and talk to the ones we care about, and perhaps eventually take that pilgrimage of yours.
So luckily,
Backing cast iron.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, good.
Backing cast iron up there. Fibo's gonna like rush to where she's standing and give her like the best sad like fluffy animal look.
Is it kind of like the Puss in Boots look?
Yes,
Take
basically.
your wizard hat off. And...
So I'm going to show you the map of Haven, and it'll kind of help as she's describing or the map of Veryne, sorry. It'll kind of help as she's describing stuff to it. All right, so this is Veryne. This is the town that you guys will enter, and then when you guys enter it, you'll have a token like this. As she describes it, there are multiple gates which lead into the city. The gates, and you'll see there's the large river. Then it's almost like in two sections. So the section to the west is Sinfall, which is the higher level section, the very dangerous section. Section to the east, which also harbors the chapel of the Illuminated Church, is less of a threat. The blister moves like a fog, so you can enter from anywhere. You can climb walls. You can go through gates. It's much easier to go through gates from any side. But if you see a cloud of blister coming towards you, then you have to like move away from it. So you can still walk through the whole city. But if you see like a big fog, almost like a darkness spell, you have to avoid that little section. She'll tell you about the north gate here and the east gate here. Both of these gates you guys can walk into, but as soon as you walk in, you'll be like on high alert. This stuff can happen. There'll be random encounters, and then as you move through the city has different sections where you want to fight stuff. So like the church is a big area. There might be like where the were-rats are has their own little place too. A place where your contact might be, the thieves areas, has like a line. But you can walk through it without having to worry about the blisters until you see it, and then once you see it, you have to like run away from it. And if you're in combat and you might see a blister like start to float in combat, and you have to move away from it while you're fighting stuff, or like grapple and kick people into it and things like that.
These things pop up during combat.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
Since Cast Iron's been in the city at least once, maybe twice, would I know, or would Cast Iron know that like going in cities, like does the fog, does it go through buildings, or if we went around into a building, would we be safe? Something like that?
Yeah, you could. So if you run to a building that if it has like gaps, or if like windows are open, you can do that. If you run into like basements are usually safe.
Okay.
There's also, you would know there's a very extensive sewer that may or may not be good or bad that you can jump into if you need to, and you can even travel underground.
Ah,
Cool.
you said underground. Click's specialty.
She would tell you though, but so every faction basically gives you like a quest per se to join them, to see if you're worthy to join them. The quest to join the Absolution is she wants to get information on. Where's it at? My thing closed and I changed screens. She would like information on the Illuminated Church's camp on the opposite side of the city and what they're doing over there, as they're in direct opposition with each other. Also too, as you guys kind of get in here and learn some stuff, just like Haven, things will pop up on the map, and I can pop up one now that you guys, pretty obvious to see it. This is the crater.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious though.
That's a giant crater.
Wow.
Yeah, and the crater landed directly where like the castle of the king was, right? So like that's all like keep ruins too.
So the keep's up here. It went through the keep and then like went this way, then smashed in there. So the keep's like up on the hill. And this is I'll pop it up too. This is Castle Ludramon.
Alright, let me get Humpty Dumpty. He's an expert at fixing things.
Is he? I don't think that's how the story goes.
Click does not know these stories well. Click just
Okay.
knows
Apparently.
what he has heard. Click.
Back to the farm.
So she just told us about those two gates.
Yeah, she told you
Is that
about the 2 gates that you can walk through. She told you about how the blister is like a fog and you just have to avoid touching it.
And then she also told us they want the Absolution wants to know about the Illuminated Church's second camp.
Yep, the camp that's north of the city. She didn't tell you though how they moved through the blister, because you do know the Absolution can like walk through it, but she wouldn't give that information yet until you prove yourselves to her. Even though you're the son, she still wants a little bit of proof. You can tell she's very cautious. Then you kind of saw where your father was going to, and you found out your mother basically went her own way for some reason.
Okay.
Mm.
It's like they had a fight over following the Absolution or not.
Yep. It's a backstory lore in episode 1. It's pretty sweet.
A lot of it.
I said Grizzo too. I told him that he would have a meet in that inn, and she wasn't there.
I know. I'm so angry that she wasn't there.
The one person that had a lead.
I just want to meet my friend again. Damn it.
I can't we be friends?
Speaking of, actually, Cast Iron's going to shift the conversation with Charlotte, and they'll basically go, I've been told that you're kind of in charge of the city, if I've been hearing that correctly. I might have interpreted that wrong, but I was curious if you might know who this is, and more importantly, where they might be. And then I'm going to use Minor Illusion to basically make like almost like a hologram above my palm of Ryra Shev, in hopes that they might recognize it.
Her piercing eyes, as she looks over at the image, you can see that she's thinking, no, I don't know her, I'm sorry. She's not an Absolution.
No, she's a member of the Empty Sky.
Patriots fighting for a false cause. What they tried to achieve will never come.
Yes, some might see it as false, but at least it's noble. Something can be appreciated there, at least.
I do not fault their efforts. I
It's good
worry
to hear.
their leader just sends them in as meat shields. Nothing more. A lot of lost life which does nothing but replenish the forces behind the walls.
A tough position.
Seeing Cast Iron ask, 5-year-old also, still holding the sad Puss in Boots look. Would you happen to know anything about my parents? They were kicked out of Haven when the Sparrows took over the family inn, the Ye Old Hickory Hearth. I've been told they went into the city, but would you know anything about them?
I've seen a lot of families come and go from Haven. I can't tell you that the Sparrows wish one thing more than all the others, which is, some would say, noble, I suppose. They want to keep Veryne as an outlaw's haven and nothing more. This is a prime setup for a thieves guild. Lawless town. A place ripe with riches to plunder. They are at direct odds, as with many are, with the Empty Sky and the Illuminated Church. I tend to leave them be. I leave the queen to her bidding. She can have her row inside the walls of Veryne. There isn't much there for crystals anymore, for meteorites. In fact, you might even look there.
I just have one last question for curiosity's sake. May I touch your crystal?
Of course.
I'm gonna put both hands on it. Does it feel odd or anything?
As you reach out, you touch a crystal. It almost feels like you're being slightly electrocuted. You can feel like static shock on your hands as you touch it. But you get this overwhelmingly sense of joy. And almost like your mind leaves your body and you just feel weightless as you touch it. It's almost like a euphoria.
Wow.
Does Fivel like emit any like changes in their connection to the bond at all? Is that something we would be able to feel?
Make an Arcana check.
Of those.
Something kind of happens to him, but you're not sure if it's like something with the bond or if he is just having a really nice time.
Fair enough. Okay.
Unak would also ask if he could touch the crystal.
Of course. You feel its warm embrace, and maybe you too will want to partake in the pilgrimage.
In that case, Unak would touch it.
The same thing happens to you as you put both hands on it. You feel that staticky shock under it. You feel like your body is pulled out. You feel that euphoria.
Can I? I'm just gonna ask to do the same thing.
I'm gonna PM you after.
Okay. Yeah. So, as Tsukumo, you touch it too. Your reaction is a little bit different because as you touch it, your eyes are forced into the ethereal plane as you touch it, because you have that ability. And as you look into the ethereal plane, you would know that everyone has an aura from casting spells. It's that Tetherbane aura, and you would know that when you have, when you don't have much Tetherbane, your aura is very light and very almost like green. But when you have heavy doses of Tetherbane, it turns darker and red. And you see around her aura, her Tetherbane aura is dark. Like she is very afflicted with the condition compared to other ones around you that are much lighter. But she looks almost like she's a shadow from the amount.
Well, I suppose at this point it would be rude of me not to touch the shard. Is it okay if I do as well?
Of course.
And I'll like move my hand that's been absent-mindedly just been like pressing against the lack of thing in my like center of my ribs, as I kind of just like have a hole there, and I'll move my hand off of there and I'll touch it as well.
We're just all feeling up this old lady.
Dude, I wasn't going to, but my friend did, and they said it was cool, so I joined in. Now we're all touching the lady.
That's
weird, right?
Click-Clack is just standing back, just eyes wide, as he is confused but also intrigued as they are touching the shiny.
Well, just imagine how good it would feel. You have 4 hands. That's twice the experience.
Click-Clack's just gonna watch. He's going to observe.
So as you touch it, you immediately shut off. As an exile, you immediately turn off. And as you turn off, there's a voice which echoes into your mind. And then your hands fall from the shard, and then your eyes reopen. Did you hear what I said? Did it come through?
It sounded dope, but it did not come through. I had no idea what
It sounded like an actual robot talking.
Sound like deactivate.
That's what I said.
I heard the last 2 words, so I heard most of it. That's fucking cool.
So you heard the beacon is activated, come home, in the strange robotic voice, which felt very... It almost made you feel homesick hearing the voice. and then you fell off the shard and awoken.
That was an odd experience.
What happened?
I don't even know how to begin explaining it. I need to read up first before I explain that.
One moment. Lights. Next. No. But it do.
Usually, when my eyes shut off, it means I'm shut off, and...
So you die.
No, it's more like an advanced form of sleeping.
Ah.
But I've never dreamt before, so that was weird.
But I think this is a good spot to end episode 1, as you guys got a lot of information you made to Haven. Just out of like a question for as you guys get ready for episode 2 in 2 weeks from today. The next episode would be on January 3rd. You guys have got a couple reasons to go inside the city. You can also always just go inside to explore randomly. Is there a thing you guys are leaning towards doing that you want to try to hit first?
Or find my friend, damn it.
I can't say that I also gave rumors. I gave some rumors that kind of tie into what you guys have heard tonight too, that might add to the quests.
Did we get those rumors after we got here, or was it just something we had all along?
Yeah, something you guys knew going in.
Okay. Probably should have shared those on the trip, I guess. Okay.
I've technically shared mine already.
Okay.
I haven't shared mine yet, but I think it relates to the rats.
I definitely
remember these are only rumors.
It could be lies.
Yeah.
Could be all
I think
lies.
mine is a lie.
I think mine is truthful.
I learned mine is truthful.
I had no idea.
Yeah, Grizz is basically go see the Absolution.
Yeah, mine was immediately. Yeah, mine was like the Absolution is real. They're a cult. I'm like, all right. We learned immediately that they're real and they're a cult. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Mine
My fact checked.
I just wanted to make sure you guys wait here.
Mine requires me to get into the city.
Sounds like we're joining a cult. Yeah.
I don't know.
joining the cult.
All the cool kids might be doing it, but I don't know.
Every rumor
need to
has
get
some
more power.
tied to a backstory, for the most part. Even though some might be a lot simpler than others.
See, what really got to me is when you said, what I think was Ludwig who transformed, and you said he kind of had like this bug-like appearance or mannerism or sound.
Yeah.
That was like, oh, well, this should be fun. Yay!
This is the campaign where we learned that the bugs are also from space.
Everyone's actually from space.
We're all just from
Everyone's
space.
actually from space. Yeah.
Or we learned that these black stars or whatever cause mutations to make the Golganthi.
Yeah. Each of the hives is actually a fallen star that just left and got to fester.
Comes the Spelljammer campaign.
Dun, dun,
Oh
dun.
gosh, no. Please no.
Do you want to share your rumors before we end the episode, or do you guys want to keep it to the chest and then use an RP?
I want to keep it. I want to keep mine.
Oh, I'm keeping mine.
Okay.
I'll keep mine. I'm gonna keep mine as well.
I guess I'll just share mine. So I heard that there's strange fish folk in Veryne sewers that are quite friendly and have saved many desperate explorers. So I'm pretty skeptical about that second part.
Yeah, that second part I don't think is true.
But
See,
there are folk in the sewers, probably.
See, when
That's
I hear
interesting.
friendly fish people, I think God making fish people.
Yeah,
I
I
might as
don't.
well share mine now.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So, my rumor is supposedly south of the crater, some dwarves have set up a clan, have laid claim to.
Oh no, he froze.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out very hard.
Oh, sorry.
Set up a clan and lay claim. to
I said
something.
the Dwarven clan has laid claim to a area south of the crater where they've been harvesting shards of the fallen star.
That's interesting.
That's a good rumor.
I don't know what mine relates to, so I don't actually think keeping it for RP would be beneficial. But mine is there's an infamous row of dive bars and taverns on the outskirts of Veryne. It's a harbor for scoundrels inside Veryne, thanks to being close enough to the edge of town for ruffians, but far enough into the city to dissuade others from following.
That's also good to know.
That is good to know. I think that's they're on like the eastern wall, I think. Would make the most sense. Well, it sounds like we're gonna have to go bar hopping at some point.
Bar crawl inside of Veryne.
It's a cool place.
Sounds like the St. Patrick's Day episode.
Sort of, yeah. There's like a fighting pit and all kinds of stuff.
City within a city. That sounds awesome.
I shall not share mine still. It will say secret.
Keep it secret. It's safe.
It
That's all
is
good.
fun.
Bug.
Yeah.
Click
Yeah, I gave you yours for a reason.
Yeah.
You say it lines up very well with Shadow as a person.
Oh god, I did that thing where I called myself Click Clack again. I am bug.
So that was episode 1 of Sinfall. It's kind of like an exposition dump. Everyone gets to meet each other. Quick little combat was just meant to showcase the Starfed. But then episode 2, you guys will be venturing into the walls of Veryne. Hope everyone enjoyed the game. Next episode, like we said, is January 3rd. This is my last stream of 2022. Kicking off 2023, going pretty hard with it. We got that Tuesday episode, and then Thursday is the first State of the Brew for 2023. Hope you guys enjoyed the game, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a good night.
See you.